Okay, so I've laid in the purple layer over the base. By the way, this would be called like the first color layer if you're doing 7 layer painting. And just a couple things to notice here. So what I did is there's two different purples. There's a lighter purple and a darker purple. And I knew from the beginning that this jumping koi here was going to be a little bit lighter than these shapes here. Not only is the plant lighter, because a lot of the times the spines will die and they'll turn pale, it's a little bit further in the picture plane. And all of this is further back. So as I was covering everything in purple, you can see I just used a kind of a dark purple. I kind of mixed together the lighter purple, which is called, it's called Brilliant Purple. Uh, if you were doing this in oil, you would use like ultramarine with alizarin crimson and some white, and you would get this color. Or you could just use manganese violet. But I would recommend using the transparent ultramarine and some sort of red color to make it more purple. So next, what I want to do is I didn't want these plants. They have different names. There's agave, there's maguey. This similar shape is also an aloe, so I'll use those different words. Some are in English and some are in Spanish. They're very similar types of plants, so I'll use those words interchangeably, but you can see what they look like. In English, they're normally called agave, and there's lots of different types. So anyways, what I'm going to do with this is I left all of this brown because I want to just do a whole wash over all this area in either ultramarine, or I'll use one of my purples. So the other purple I have is called Dioxine Violet, and it is a transparent purple color. That is also available in oil if you're interested in that. Nice glazing color. Ultramarine would be fine. I even have this color, which is called Ultramarine Violet. So it's a violet shade of ultramarine, which is cool. It's useful for this kind of thing. So another thing I haven't talked about is that if you were to look at like a value scale using like this kind of thing of like a gray card like this, I'll even put this here. You would put, if you were to look at ultramarine, or I'm not sorry, if you were to look at purple, just looking at this, it's somewhere around maybe here. Well, that's actually a very similar tone to a very common color called burnt umber and or burnt sienna. So let's look at burnt umber in particular. All right, I have no burnt. Oh, here it is. So burnt umber is right here. So why am I comparing these? Well, they have a lot of similarity, especially compared to this card here. So they're about right here. So this is called value 3 or value 2. If you mix them with white, you can get into these other values as well. Both of them have this weird relationship of warm and cool. Purple is warm. I mean, it's a warm color, especially compared to blue. But compared to other colors, it's totally cool. Burnt sienna is considered, or burnt umber, is also considered a warm color. Well, compared to red, it's a cool color. So burnt umber is really important in painting, especially if you're going to do traditional painting. It's just a fundamental pigment you need to use and master. But you can use substitution, the rule of substitution, and you could take a painting that says, okay, this part would be burnt umber. Okay, well, I'm going to switch out and use purple instead. It would function the same way in terms of creating the tones, the grayscale you want, in terms of color temperature, where you want something has a versatility of being both warm and cool. It also, finally, has a darkness. Now, this one isn't very dark, but dioxine purple is quite dark. And so this has the effect of providing you a dark, providing you a cool, providing you a warm, does a lot of different things. So basically what we're doing is we're substituting burnt umber and the toning qualities of that with the chromatic color purple.